Tell me about you mentioned a Hitman install story. What's going
Oh,
on
oh
there?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, they put out a demo for Hitman 3 over the weekend. I don't know if it's still available, but it was on all systems, and it was the entire first level available to play for free. And this isn't the first time that IO Interactive has done this. They did it with Hitman 2, and I believe they did it with Hitman 1 as well too. They kind of released the episodes, or the each map kind of episodic. But the cool thing with the Hitman franchise is that all the games, like if you own the previous game, you can import those levels into the new engine. So people were importing Hitman 2 into the Hitman 3 demo and having full access to their Hitman 2 content with the updated HDR and ray tracing and all that fun shit.
Hmm.
So I'm like, all right, great. Let me try this out. So I downloaded the Hitman 3 demo. And the first thing I did was actually play the first level in the demo because I wanted to check it out. And it's this like massive tower in Dubai, and it's fucking nuts. Like you're like fucking skydropping, and you're climbing up the side of the building, and you're swapping out costumes, and you got to kill these dudes, and it's just like so many people everywhere. It's multiple floors. The graphics are beautiful. Like, Will, you have to play this game. This is a Will's cool game. I'm telling you, bro.
Okay, I'm keeping it noted.
So I played the level, and I just did it once. I didn't want to like burn it out because I really wanted to focus on trying to import the other stuff into the game. So I did that, and then I they have a import part within Hitman Three's menus, and it's like, okay, well here you can go in and you can bring with you all your content from Hitman 1 and Hitman 2. And I was almost positive that I had Hitman 1 in some capacity on my Xbox. I could have sworn it was given away as like a free gold game, but
Hmm.
I had trouble like determining whether or not I owned it when I was trying to import from Hitman 1 to Hitman 2, and it was just one of those things I was like, let me just abandon it, right?
Hmm.
Well, now's the time because apparently if you import your Hitman 2 data and you haven't already imported Hitman 1, it fucks up the whole process bringing it into 3. So I'm like, all right, I got to do this right.
Ugh.
So I start digging around, and I find in my Xbox Live account my copy of Hitman 1, and it says it has every map, but it's not like crystal clear that it is every map. So I download the whole fucking thing, right? I'm like, let's see what happens. And when you go into the game, you try to load up the maps, they make it pretty clear which maps you have access to because they're colorful and everything. The ones that you don't have access to are red and kind of faded out, right? I had everything in the list, so I'm like, cool. All right, I think this is going to work just fine. So I head over and I open up Hitman 2, and Hitman 2 is like, all right, well, in order to import your game from Hitman 1, you have to download the Hitman 2 Game of the Year Hitman 1 version or something like that. They
Oh,
phrased it.
jeez.
Now there's multiple versions of this game on the marketplace because they released it like as a base game, then they released DLC, and then you could also purchase each map separately, and these maps are massive, so it's not unheard of people getting 10, 20, 30 hours out of one map because there's so many different ways to accomplish your goals, and there's different goals that come up as you go along. It's a very expansive game.
Hmm.
And so I'm reading this stuff, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, there's a link to the one that I need in the game. It goes right to the Xbox store. I click on it and it says, sorry, this is not available. I'm like, what do you mean it's not available? Like, so back out, I do it again. It says it's not available. So I go on the forums. I start looking this up. I'm like, let me find this thing, right? Where the fuck is this? And I find this forum. It's like a bunch of people having the same issue. And basically, they're like, just type it in the store. Look for Hitman 2 Game of the Year Edition. You'll find it in the store and just click on that. And I find it, and it's $20. I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm not paying $20 for this, right?
No.
I already have it. I'm not buying it again. So, like, that's not how this works. So I back out, I go back in, I kind of finagle with it a little bit, and then I'm like, I get kind of frustrated, and I just like back out. I'm like, all right, maybe this isn't going to work after all. And I start looking around, and I open up Hitman 2, And all of a sudden, I have all these maps from Hitman 1 that I've never had access to before. I'm like, how the hell did this happen? Right?
Oh my word.
So, and it includes the stories. I don't know the beginning of the story with Agent 47. So I wanted to kind of like go through and experience that. So
Yep.
I fire up one of the original missions, and here's the shitty thing, right? In order for me to confirm that I have all these maps from Hitman 1, it forces you to play through the tutorial. But the tutorial missions from Hitman 1 to Hitman 2 to Hitman 3 are identical. There's no difference, and you cannot skip them if you're starting the game from scratch. So I've already played the tutorial missions from Hitman 2. So now to confirm that I had access to Hitman 1, I had to play through that all over again, the same missions that I've already beaten, in order to just double check. Finally,
Nice.
I get to Hitman 2, and I jump back and I look and I have all the missions from Hitman 1. I'm like, great, this is wonderful. It's working out wonderfully, right?
Yeah.
I open up Hitman 3. It tells me to import the game. So I click on the thing. I get an error. I'm like, what the fuck? I shut it off. I go make a sandwich. I come back. I fire it up again. All the maps are there. So now
Disaster.
I have no idea how, but I think I've like brute forced Hitman 1 and 2 into the Hitman 3 engine.
I don't know what you've done, man. It's like you went into the I forget what it's called, like there's like a section of your computer that you're not supposed to go into and like dabble with things.
The registry. Yeah.
Yeah, the registry. You went into the fucking registry, man.
It does feel like that. I'm not gonna lie. But man, it feels good like having access to the game. It looks so much better in the Hitman 3 engine, and it's optimized for the Series X. And just like coming off of playing the original Hitman 1 and 2 briefly. Well, I spent a little bit more time with Hitman 2 than either of the others, but you can notice right off the bat the change in the graphics and just how much smoother and the attention to detail and the speed that everything is running at. It's like night and day.